Hello, welcome to RCJetsUSA. Today we are going to talk about LiPo batteries. As you can see, I have a lot of batteries. I have a lot of jets to fly, so different weights, and all of them are, actually most of them are 6S batteries, 20.2 volt. So I have been using these batteries for so long. So I just want to share some thoughts around how to pick a battery and what my experience with using these varieties of batteries kind of thing. As you could see, I have varieties of batteries, several brands. So to start with, these are Admiral, and these are SMC brand, HRB, Liperia, and also there's another one. This is Ovonic. I don't know whether you guys heard of them. Let me show you my oldest batteries. So this is these two actually, Admiral 5000. So I have been flying this battery with this particular jet for over 10 years. So, but if you see, absolutely there's no swelling at all, zero swelling. But it's more than 10 years old. I do not think that I have 300 recharge cycle on these batteries, because I do not go that often, even though I have been flying for 10 years. So only problem with these two batteries as of now, they don't retain power as much as it was before. I charge them to storage level 3.8 volt per cell. So I'm just leaving them alone, and sometimes I fly for like very few minutes, not push them too much, just to see whether they still have the power. That's about it. But this is the most reliable battery that I have used kind of for 10 years, so it's crazy. So that's one of the things. And when it's come to LiPo batteries, especially we are talking about 6S LiPos at this time, it's about the amperage, how many milliampere it has, and also the weight. And of course the size matters, because whatever you are selecting, you should be able to fit into your model. So all those things, factors are important, but that is for the selection criteria. But once you start using, there are few other things that you have to worry about. How much of power, the C rating, they talk about C rating a lot, but I don't know how to measure that, to be honest. Like, they say peak C rating and normal C rating, this and that, but there's no way for us to measure it at flight. So I wouldn't worry too much about the C rating. So if you are buying a 6S battery, I would always go something above 50 anyway. So anything above 50 is good. But if you have same properties on two batteries, one has a large C rating than the other, everything else is exactly the same kind of, then I would go with the higher C rating for the sake of higher C rating, but there's nothing else to it from my perspective. I do not see any major advantage between different C rating among these batteries. So it's like, for me, it did not make any difference, to be honest. By the way, what I'm sharing is not sponsored by anybody as at now. It's all my honest experience and thoughts about these batteries. I am not going to promote anybody or any brand. So I'm going to give it to you as is, what I have experienced. So hopefully you can make use of that knowledge when you are going to select a battery. If you have seen my other videos, I'm flying a lot of high-end jets, like 105 millimeter, twin 80 millimeter jets, and some R2LS, and I'm kind of pushing the batteries to their limit, and I fly with high throttle with variety of maneuvers. So I kind of push the batteries to their limit, but I always have discipline to charge them properly and also discharge them and store them correctly. Those are the most important thing for a LiPo battery. So for example, if I go out there, I always go out with fully charged batteries. For some reason, I never charge the batteries in the flying field. I have never done that, so I always have my packs fully charged by the time I go there. So I fly with everything. So when I come home, by the time I come home, every battery is cooled down, because it takes about 1 hour for me to come back, settle down myself, and then when I either sometimes I discharge them to 3.8 volt for the storage level, which means each cell has to be around 3.8 volt. I do that, or otherwise I charge them to that level. So I always do that every day. So even if I'm flying next day, I do not keep them in lower than that for overnight even. Like I just plug them in and make sure that they are in the storage level, because if I don't go next day for some reason, then it's not a good thing. They say not to keep any batteries fully charged over 24 hours. So if you have charged batteries, you have to make sure you utilize them, or otherwise you have to discharge them to the storage within 24 hours. Otherwise you are basically abusing the battery and it's not going to live long, to be honest. So when I share my experiences with these batteries, I have used these batteries according to what I explained earlier. So it's been charged properly, discharged properly, stored properly, and everything has done according to the book. So given that, I just want to show you some batteries, and let me show you what I have gone through with all these batteries. So I started using recently this particular battery, SMC, because I heard a lot about them. And also I have been using Admiral. I bought this new version, 5100 milliampere hour recently, and they're pretty good as well. So I have quite a lot of Liperian, and this is a pro version, so I bought, but they are no longer available, but they have a similar version with black color casing. This actually I use for a few jets, and there's one particular jet, I don't know whether you guys can see this guy, Venom. It has very limited space in the battery compartment. I can't fit any other battery into that, so I had to find a smallest 4000 battery. So this goes into that jet. So however, these batteries get heated up extremely high, because I have the same timer for all the jets, like 3.5 minutes or something. So, but these things are like very hot by the time I land, even before the time frame. So even though I fly the same speed, same throttle behavior, these guys get heated up very quickly. But the funny thing is, as you can see, that I have flown with this battery a couple of times, but it does not swell. It swell a little bit. I have some batteries that swell a little bit, and also it retains the power for some reason, and they're not bad actually, and they are the most like the cheapest out of all of these batteries. So you can buy them from Amazon, and so that is special about these batteries. So I have been using them because of the size factor, and also exactly fitting into that jet kind of thing. I have 5200 of the same, but few of them had issues with a couple of cells, so I had to get rid of them. But I mean, it's very cheap compared to all the other batteries. So if you are looking to buy something cheaper, this is kind of reliable, but not as durable as a lot of other batteries. I think it's better than HRB, I would say, because this particular battery, I have a lot of bad experience, so I will never buy this again. I also bought them from Amazon. So even this one ISSL one is bad. So I can't fly with these guys, because as soon as I take off, even before I turn around and come back to align to myself in the center of the flying field, it already complains saying I'm below 19 volts. So normally I have threshold, the lowest is 21 volt. So if I go down below, it's going to alert me immediately, so I will quickly come around and land, knowing that there's maybe something wrong with the battery. So so these batteries swell a lot. As you can see, all these are puffy. Now these are like very brand new, like maybe I have flown about 5 times or something. But other than that, you can see both of them. Even this one had a cell one bad. See, so I will avoid buying these guys. They are not that reliable. So these things will. These are the only 4 batteries I have on this brand. I had few. I got rid of, but I will no longer buy these batteries for the record. So when it's come to Liperia, sorry, these are good batteries. So they also swell a lot. Now I'll show you this guy. So this is you can see it swells, like you can push it around, but for some reason it retains the power, so it gets heated up as well, not as much as these guys. It gets heated up, but it retains the power. You can use quite a lot. So I don't say they are bad. They are good, but you have to expect it's going to get heated up, and also it's going to sell. So you might have space problem after a while because it won't fit into your tight spot if you have a tight spot in your model. About Admiral, now Admiral, they have few new versions. This is the 5000 carbon version, and I heard a lot of good things about this battery, so I went and bought these guys. They are a bit expensive, but I tried with my 12S 105 millimeter jet, and it did not get heated up. I pushed to the limit kind of. So they are pretty good. So I'm because of my experience having this for 10 years and not having any puffing kind of experience, so I will expect the same thing from these guys. So anything Admiral is good, but it's kind of as I mentioned, a bit dearer. So that's what you have to watch. Now SMC also has different versions. They have high voltage version as well. So I do not have the high voltage version, but I am going to order one to do some experiment and see whether they are good as what they're saying. So I'm very happy with these batteries as of now. So I have pushed this. I have a couple of batteries. So I push my 105 millimeter jets to the extreme level with high throttle, and they are pretty good. They don't get heated up and things like that. So I'm very much happy with these batteries. So and I will be buying a lot of those batteries in the future as well. Before we deep dive into technical stuff, I just wanted to show you my batteries so that you have a understanding of where I'm coming from with the batteries. So what I did was I created a chart like this. So let me show you and explain each battery and their properties and what I think of them, and I have a few categories. And also what I did was, because these batteries, when you're selecting a battery, you always want higher milliampere hour, because ampere is the most important thing. That's what gives you the power, right? Not the volt, but volt is kind of constant. That means you have to have that volt, otherwise your ESC won't function. You can't go more, you can't go less, so you have to have somewhere around that range. So milliampere hour is the thing. So you can go from 5000 to 7000, but when you increase the milliampere hour, the battery gets larger. So when battery gets larger, it's going to add more weight to the model. So now which you have to balance it. So you don't know how much of weight you are going to put against how many milliampere. So because of that balancing fact, I wanted to come up with something. So what I did was I came up with my own formula. So I divide grams, the weight of the battery, from milliampere hour, and came up with a value and multiply by 100 to get a percentage. So now I have a percentile of all the batteries, so that by looking at that number, I know exactly which one is better than the other. But you can apply that concept only for the same type of battery. That means LiPo 6S. You can't compare 6S with 3S or any other. So you have to make sure that it's applicable for 6S. And you can have varieties of milliampere hours, but it has to be 6S batteries. So without further ado, let me drill down into the chart that I created. So I'll explain everything and then pick what would be the best possible battery for you for your future models, or as per what I recommend, what I experienced so far. So now when I say I'm going to drill down, it doesn't mean that I'm going to unload all lot of technical electronic jargon into you, because I understand electronic, I build electronic circuits, but I don't want to go into that detail. Now if you want to know how to calculate C rating and other stuff, so you can Google and find them. There are plenty of information around in the internet. So I'm not going to go into that. So what I'm going to do in the basic level, by looking at few things, how do you determine, without going crazy with electronics and the technical knowledge, how can you identify the best battery for your model, comparing all these other factors as well as the price tag. So because it gets expensive, right? So when you go higher up in the channel, so it's going to get crazily expensive. Sometimes for no reason you are paying a lot. So I just want to eliminate those things and give you my honest opinion and what I have been doing so far to save some money and also get the maximum out of it, because no point, nothing is going to last forever. So all these batteries going to die one day. So is it worth to spend so much of money on battery if you can find the same thing reliable, and you have the same power and deliverables with like the other batteries? So that's what I'm after. So let's dive into the chart. I will explain everything in detail there. This is the table that I was talking about, the chart. Let's dive into the details. So the first, starting with all the columns, the battery properties and also observation and true factors, basically what I have observed over time for these batteries. The column in the left corner, starting with battery brand, and then I have shown a picture just to identify easily, and also the capacity milliampere hour, size in millimeter, width, height and length. And also, even though I do not seriously consider C rating, I have captured that as well, and the weight in grams. Then the observations and true factors of heating, swelling, power retention and the durability. The next column is the one that I spoke about earlier, grams divided by milliampere hour. So, and then it's a percentile basically. And also the last one, price in USD dollars as of today, 2025 January. So those are the columns. And also I have categorized in the bottom, you can see heating for each battery. There are 4 levels: low, moderate, high, extreme high, and also swelling and the power retention and the durability. So this is as per the discharge cycles. Also, I just want to mention there are few brands types actually. So spectrum, I spoke about it a little bit, but I have captured that also because I have heard a lot about this battery, so I thought of bringing in. But as you can see in the observation and true factors, I don't have any details other than the gram per milliampere column and the pricing, the size, because I don't have any information other than what I heard from other people. And also SMC high voltage battery, that is something that I have already ordered, so I will be getting one of those batteries, so I will be testing it out. If anything changes from the facts that I have already known, I will make sure to update the channel with that information so that you have all the latest information on that. So stay tuned for that. But if you have experience with this battery, please put some comments so that I know what to expect when I have them delivered. So what I'm going to do within next few minutes is go to each of range, like the capacity in milliampere, and pick one range and then talk about it a little bit and see which one is the best choice out of all these batteries. So let's pick the one, the smallest one, that is 5000 milliampere hour. So let me highlight them so that like that, so you know what we're talking about. Now the first one is Admiral 5000. So I showed you one earlier, the one that I was using for over 10 years. This is the latest price, 109. So if you see the weight and the C rating and also the ratio that I calculated, it is 14.92 ratio. So it is how I'm going to compare between the battery, so that I know the lower is the better value. So I'm after the lowest value, but considering all the other factors. Now I have selected, as you can see, heating. I have given number 1, which is the lowest heating rate, and also swelling. You notice in my other clip that you didn't notice any swelling at all in my 10 years use battery. And the power retention, of course, due to the fact that it was 10 years, it is not retaining now, but my 5101 is still good. So I believe if you buy right now, it will retain power as usual like any other battery. The durability, I always go with it because it's been 10 years, it's still no swelling, and it's durable. So I don't think I have done 300, even 200 cycles, but still it's good in that perspective. So the next one in 5000 category is the LiPo. LiPo, I had used 5000 for quite some times, but as I mentioned in my other session, the heating is up to 3, that is the high range, and also the swelling I have shown you, it swells a lot. Power retention is not bad, so it retains the power, but with all the swelling and heating, it's going to reduce a little bit anyway, so I can't give 1 there, so it's 2. And the durability also, I had few issues with 1 or 2 batteries, but the majority are good. So that has the value of gram per milliampere hour is like very low, was 13.9, but all the other values are in the high range, like heating, swelling, and the others also not 1 basically. So the next one is SMC 5000. Even though I do not personally own one of these batteries, since I'm using 6000, which is pretty much similar, so I do not expect them to get heated or swell like any other battery. So I consider the same values, even though I haven't put anything, to be honest. So I reckon this is a very good battery for 5000 series. The last one is Spectrum 5000. So I do not use them, but I have heard a lot. I have seen people using in the flying field. So the only thing that I do not like about this is my ratio, gram per milliampere, is quite high, highest out of all, and also $149, $150 basically. So compared to others. So others are nowhere near that price. So the price tag is extremely high. You get C rating 100, but as I mentioned earlier, anything above 50, I would say consider they're all same. So if I had to choose between all of these 4 batteries for 5000 milliampere hour, I would pick the one here, because I know for a fact they are good battery, and all the factors that I have selected is similar to 6000. I have seen people using them, and the price tag compared to Spectrum is very cheap, and also Admiral is higher than that. So because of that, if I had to buy a flight pack tomorrow, I will not go to any other brand other than this one because of those facts. And also the second one, if you ask me what would be the second one, I would go for Admiral 5100, which I own, and I do not see any issue with that as well. So I mean that would be my second selection because of the price tag of Spectrum. I know Spectrum is a smart battery, but I don't know how it's going to reflect my flying behaviors anyway. So because of that, I would select SMC for this category right now. Let's select the next category. That would be 5100, and also I included 5200 milliampere hour because that's the only battery I have in that range. So it's like 100 milliampere hour. It's nothing much, so we can include that in the same range for that reason. So starting with 5100 milliampere hour Admiral battery. So I'm using this, and I'm very happy with that battery. So the performance and the swelling, heating, power retention, all of them are in the one category. So I have heard about the durability as well from others. So it's pretty good, and I don't have any doubt that it will perform very well. So that's even though the price is bit in the higher level, but I would say it's a good deal. And the other one is Ovonic 5200. So I don't think they have 5100 anyway. So this one actually, as you can see, the heating is up to level 4, because as I mentioned in my other session, so it's actually it's very quickly get heated up, and also the swelling it's not much, definitely. Power retention is there, durability, I have been using them for a while now without any problems. So other than the heating, it's all good, but you can see the price compared to Admiral, it's extremely low, and also the gram per milliampere hour ratio is very less as well, so which is good. And if you are looking for a cheaper alternative, even though you can deal with heat up to a certain level, I would consider them again for a smaller jet. But other than that, there's nothing special about it. So if you want reliable and less troublesome battery, that's not the one that I'm going to select. So let's go to the next one. It is 5100 high voltage SMC. Now this is special battery because it's high voltage. You can charge a cell beyond 3.8 volt. I mean 4.25 volt. So but I personally do not recommend that anyway, because if your ESC cannot handle that having higher voltage, then you will basically burn your motor and the ESC as well. So you have to be careful what you're doing with it. But if you use it as a regular 5100 battery, you can do that. And also see the C rating is in 90s. So if you are seriously considering when you, as I mentioned earlier, if it's in 70, 50, 90, which one you're going to select is obviously 90, right? So, and even though it's not the highest rate for my gram per milliampere hour percentage, it's 14.71, which is in the middle of the other two. So So it's not bad. So, and also the price, it's about $20 less than the other one. So and even though I personally do not own this, but I know a lot of people using this, and I got a lot of good feedback from them. In fact, yesterday somebody was talking about this as well. So since I'm using 6000, I have all these heating, swelling, power retention, and the durability as one. I would, even though I haven't put there, I would give the same rating for that battery. So because of those things, I would select out of these three, 5001 and 5200 milliampere category. If I have to choose the battery out of these three, I would pick this one, even though I own 5100 Admiral. Next one would be 5100. In fact, I already ordered, so I'm waiting to deliver. So once I get them, I will do my test. If I feel any of these numbers doesn't make sense, or if it change, I will make sure that I update my channel. So please stay tuned. And if nothing has changed, means I won't update anything. That means it's perfectly alright to pick this guy. So let's move on to the next category, that is 6000 milliampere hour. So I have highlighted four batteries. So in this case, the first one is Admiral Professional 6000. No, I personally do not have any experience with this, but I don't like the price tag, and also the weight. I think that is the maximum weight out of all the batteries that I have, 910 grams. So that is the highest weight I have out of all the batteries. So I don't know whether you are going to get the benefit out of it. It's 15.16 gram per milliampere percentage. So even though I like Admiral and the durability and everything, I would say heating, swelling, retention, durability, everything should be 1 in that case for this guy. But with the price tag of $124 and also having that much of weight, I'm not sure, because C rating also 50, it's not beyond 50 as well. So I don't consider it that much. 50 is more than enough, but still I won't go for that if I don't have any other thing. Now HRB, as I mentioned earlier, 6060, you can see 3 for the heating, swelling 4, power retention 3, durability 4, because I had a lot of problem with this guy, and also it's not cheap, it's $90. So I won't go for them. So I will I discontinue using them going forward, so I will not use them. So, and Liberia 6000, so I have been using them for quite a while now, though they are getting heated up, swelling a bit. Power retention is good, not bad, and you can see the price tag is $93.99, so it is not that cheap as well, and the ratio is 14.67. I'm talking about gram per milliampere percentage, and it's a little bit higher than the SMC. Now SMC I'm using quite often on my 105 millimeter jets, and also twin 80 millimeter jet 2LS configuration, and those jets are power hungry beasts basically, so I'm actually pushing them to the limit. Even with that, I'm very happy. That's why I have all 1 for heating, swelling, and the retention and the durability, and also the gram milliampere per gram percentage also 40.07. That is the not the lowest, but out of all the good batteries, that is the lowest. So, and the price tag also not bad actually. That is the cheapest. So I mean, obviously that should be your selection, right? So I would select out of these 4 batteries SMC 6000. As of now, I own about 4 batteries. I use them very frequently. So that would be my selection for 6000 milliampere series. Now that we spoke about all these batteries, let's move on to the final selection of all 3 categories. So I'm not doing any favors here though, right? So I haven't even used some of the SMC batteries, but considering all the facts, what I'm hearing from other people and also getting my numbers, especially the pricing. Now, someone who's using Spectrum might get offended by this, thinking that this is better for 5,000, even though the price tag is $149.99. So I'm not saying those batteries are bad or anything like that, but if I'm going to select a battery tomorrow, I will stick to this selection because of all the facts and all the experience that I have with batteries. So now I know SMC is the first choice in this case in all three categories, but if you ask me what is the second one, I would definitely go for Admiral. The only reason is because the price tag. See, I would love to have Spectrum, but it's too much. Are you getting the value for money? I don't know, because I can't justify that price for what I'm going to get out of this battery. So that is my personal opinion. Nothing against any of the other brand. They're all good except HRB. I don't have any problem of using any of the other batteries. That's all about this chart and the information about these batteries and with their properties and the observation and true factors of my own. I hope the information is useful for you guys. Now that you have seen the chart and know what I know about all these batteries and the knowledge that I have about them, the experience that I have with them, I think you can make a good educated decision when it comes to battery in the future. So if you like my video, please give us a thumbs up, and I'll catch up with you later on similar uh, video. And also I'm going to buy a few new batteries. If in case anything that I have mentioned in the video has changed since the video, I will update underneath the comments. So if you have any other experience with Spectrum and other batteries that I haven't used but I have heard about them, please feel free to put some comments so that I know what to expect when I buy them as well. So which is a good education. It goes both ways. So thanks guys. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.